Welcome to Voyage Daily Tech, the most important news personalized for you every day, supported by Voyage.com.
After listening to today's news, you'll know. First, Google's AI talent war escalates with 20% Boomerang hires and a $2.7 billion soft acqui-hire strategy. So we'll discuss why this aggressive hiring changes the AI competition and what it means for the value of top engineering talent. Second, the AI infrastructure gold rush creates new winners like CoreWeave as soaring energy demand even revives diesel generators. We'll explore how AI's massive energy appetite is creating bottlenecks and a new class of infrastructure winners beyond just chips. Third, up to 34% of online listings are ghost jobs, a corporate perception tactic that significantly distorts US economic data. We'll examine how this deceptive practice is impacting job seekers and why it led to a massive 900,000 job overstatement by the government. Fourth, Netflix exclusively lands the Fifa game, disrupting EA's $1.6 billion model with a free mobile-first strategy. We'll analyse why this high-stakes pivot to a casual audience is a major turning point and how it could affect the future of game monetization. Fifth, Instagram caps posts at 5 hashtags, with its chief declaring they don't increase your reach to end engagement hacking. In this episode, we'll break down this critical development and what it signals for organic reach and Meta's broader platform strategy. Google just revealed a bombshell statistic about its AI hiring strategy. A full 20% of the AI software engineers it hired in 2025 are so-called Boomerang employees, people who used to work there. Actually, this layer-free hire cycle often represents a massive strategic miscalculation. Research shows that for every dollar a company saves in layoffs, they can end up spending over $1.25 in hidden costs like severance and lost productivity. And when they bring these Boomerang employees back, they often have to pay them a premium, sometimes as much as 25% more than their old salary. This decision brings both the benefit of experienced talent returning, but it also comes with the inherent risk of creating an echo chamber. Does bringing back 20% of your old workforce risk stifling the very kind of new disruptive ideas that made people leave in the first place? This comes after the company conducted its largest ever layoffs in early 2023, cutting 12,000 jobs. Now, it's aggressively bringing talent back to fight in the escalating AI talent wars against rivals like OpenAI and Meta. A while back, we broke down how Meta's open source bet on Llama faltered rivals like OpenAI, and Google pulled further ahead, and labs in China, like DeepSeek, leveraged the architecture to build stronger models, intensifying the pressure and raising the stakes of this hiring war. And the battlefield is getting expensive. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman reportedly told employees that Meta has been offering signing bonuses worth a staggering $100 million to poach talent. The fight has gotten so personal that Google co-founder Sergey Brin has come out of retirement to personally reach out to prospective candidates. Not to be outdone, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg is also reportedly sending personal emails to top researchers. We also noted earlier that this desperation spilled into a jaw-dropping spree to bring in Alexander Wang's Scale AI team. Proof the checks are getting bigger as the pool gets smaller. So the thing is, we're seeing the very role of CEO shift to chief recruiter. These top AI researchers are now being treated like superstar athletes. The power dynamic has completely flipped. It's no longer just about a good salary. It's about personal appeals from the most powerful people in tech. And as we've seen, potentially 9-figure incentives. This creates a hyperinflated market for a very small number of individuals. And inside these orgs, cultures are bending to accommodate them. Remember the demo, don't memo ethos and 70-hour weeks we talked about? This is where the situation takes a more complex turn. One of Google's key rehires is Noam Shazia, a major figure in AI who left the company in 2021. The reason for his departure? Google reportedly shut down his attempts to push its own chatbot technology forward. Now, in a stunning reversal, they've brought him and his team back under a new deal. Now, get this, that new deal isn't a simple rehire. What Google did is a brilliant and controversial strategy called a soft acqui-hire. They paid Shazia's new company, Character, AI, a reported $2.7 billion for a license to its technology. This allows Google to absorb the innovation and get the talent back without the headache and cost of a full company acquisition. It's a way to buy back the magic they let walk out the door. So what's the draw pulling them back to Google? According to the company's head of compensation, it's the combination of deep pockets and the hefty computational infrastructure that's essential for advanced AI work. And that computational infrastructure is crucial because it's Google's secret weapon. It's what experts call a compute moat. The AI race, after all, isn't just about who can pay the highest salary. It's about who has the most powerful custom-built hardware. Google has its tensor processing units, or TPUs. These chips are so powerful that just one of their new generation pods can perform over 42 quintillion calculations per second. That level of raw power is something most companies on Earth can't even dream of. And for an AI researcher, having access to that is like a chef getting the world's best kitchen. It's an almost irresistible recruiting tool. As we've discussed before, TPUs are ASICs, custom chips tuned for tensor math, so they can deliver the same AI job using roughly 60 to 65% less energy than a general purpose GPU. That advantage is showing up at scale. Google bragged it trained its state of Gemini 3 entirely on TPUs, and its separate cloud deal with Anthropic gives that lab access to as many as 1 million TPUs over a gigawatt of new AI compute capacity. In other words, this is not just higher pay, it's a bet on a parallel stack built around TPUs, not NVIDIA's world. And the strategy appears to be working. After fumbling early product rollouts and being seen as slow to react to ChatGPT, Google has bounced back. We also flagged the industry scorecard moment when NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang listed the marquee models, his chips power OpenAI, Anthropic, xAI, and Google's Gemini pointedly leaving out Llama. Alphabet stock price is up more than 60% this year, outperforming all of its mega cap peers. In the high-stakes battle for AI supremacy, Google is proving it will use its massive resources not just to build technology, but to buy back the very talent it once let go, turning past departures into its new front line. While Google's stock is soaring on its AI strategy, another global giant, Nike, just got hammered. The apparel giant's stock plunged 10% this morning, and the reason is an absolute bombshell from its latest report. Sales in China, one of its most critical markets, fell off a cliff, dropping a staggering 17%. And this isn't just a random sales dip. We're seeing a massive cultural and economic shift in China. It's a trend called guoshao, which translates to national trend or national tide. Younger Chinese consumers are showing intense pride in domestic brands. You see, local competitors like Anta and Lining are not just catching up. In some cases, they're winning. In fact, research shows that Anta has actually surpassed Nike in China's sportswear market, capturing nearly a quarter of all sales. This is a huge warning sign for Western brands that have long relied on China for growth. That number was so bad it completely overshadowed the fact that the company actually beat its overall earnings and revenue expectations. So we're seeing Nike grapple with a massive cultural shift. At the same time, in the world of tech infrastructure powering AI, a completely different kind of gold rush is creating new winners. For instance, Oracle's stock just surged over 5%. The reason is a massive power play. TikTok has agreed to sell its US operations to a new joint venture, and that venture includes the software giant Oracle. However, if you zoom out, you'll see another layer of strategy at play. This isn't just about Oracle getting a piece of a social media app. This is a high-stakes strategic maneuver to battle test its own cloud infrastructure, known as OCI. As we've discussed before, think of it as a Trojan horse. Oracle is using the massive data-heavy US operations of TikTok as a public proving ground to show that its cloud can handle an immense scale, putting it in direct competition with the dominant players like Amazon's AWS and Google Cloud. It's a brilliant way to showcase its power on a global stage. And Oracle isn't the only winner here. A cloud infrastructure company called CoreWeave saw its stock jump 5.5%, but that's not even the real story. Citi just resumed coverage on the company with a price target that implies its shares could literally double from current levels. So what's fueling this explosive growth? It's the gold rush to power artificial intelligence. Believe it or not, companies like CoreWeave represent a new breed of specialized AI clouds. While giants like Amazon and Microsoft offer a general-purpose cloud, CoreWeave is purpose-built for one thing, running massive AI models. They use advanced networking and the latest NVIDIA GPUs, all tightly integrated. The result? They can be up to 35 times faster and significantly cheaper for these specific, demanding AI jobs. This is why Wall Street is betting they can carve out a huge piece of the market. CoreWeave just joined a Department of Energy mission to advance US research. And it's not alone. Another energy tech firm, Generac, received a major upgrade from Wells Fargo, citing accelerating demand for its diesel generators as essential backup power for AI data centers. We previously analysed how in Northern Virginia, data centers already account for roughly 26% of statewide electricity use, and in one 2024 incident, 60 data centers in Fairfax County all switched to backup generators at the same time after a grid fault, almost triggering widespread blackouts. So this diesel pivot isn't theoretical, it's what keeps racks humming when the grid blinks. And here's where it gets interesting. We're talking about old, dirty diesel technology powering the clean future of AI. The reason this is happening is because of AI's shocking energy appetite. A single ChatGPT query can use nearly 10 times the electricity of a standard Google search. Projections show that by 2030, data centers could consume up to 12% of all electricity in the United States, up from just over 4% in 2023. Continuing our last discussion, a watchdog recently found data centers accounted for 63% of a $9.3 billion capacity auction bill, fueling moratorium calls and local pushback that have already blocked or delayed about $64 billion in projects. And as we've noted before, a single high-performance AI server can draw over 10 kilowatts, with some new campuses pulling a gigawatt, about a city's worth of power. So software side gains matter too. One UC Santa Cruz team ran a large language model on just 13 watts by stripping out inefficient code. Those US projections rhyme with what we covered globally, forecasts that data center electricity use could more than double by 2030, with AI as the number one driver. Europe's stricter rules and higher energy costs have already slowed their build out, and an S&P global analyst told us that scarce power could make existing capacity more valuable, exactly the setup that benefits operators who already have scale. And it's not just electrons. As we discussed a while back, next again, liquid-cooled builds are copper hungry on the order of 20 to 40 tons per megawatt, meaning raw materials and the grid, not just chips, could become the primary bottlenecks. The market is sending a clear signal. While a legacy brand battles a massive downturn in a key region, the race to build the physical foundation for AI is creating a new class of winners, with Wall Street betting that their growth is just getting started. The race to build AI's foundation is creating a clear class of winners, a boom that feels very real. But that brings us to another market that's supposed to be booming, the job market, where things might not be what they seem. It turns out up to a third of the jobs you see advertised might not even exist. One UK study found that a staggering 34% of listed vacancies were ghost jobs positions that companies have no real intention of filling. This isn't just a UK issue, it's a growing problem across the US and Germany, with another study finding that 22% of online job ads were posted with no intent to hire. Let's look at what's happening on the platforms themselves. For sites like LinkedIn, a huge portion of their revenue, nearly 2/3, comes from their talent solutions division, which sells services to recruiters. This creates a powerful incentive to have as many job postings as possible, because more listings make the platform look more valuable to the recruiters who are paying the bills. So, the business model itself can work against keeping the listings clean. For job seekers, it's a soul-destroying experience. One career coach described it as applying into a black hole where the morale of any job seeker gets crushed. People are spending countless hours tailoring applications for jobs that were never available, leading to what one activist calls a shameful impact on mental health. And there's a technical reason for this too, because it's not always a person deliberately posting a fake job. Many companies use automated software called applicant tracking systems, or ATS. Some of these systems have an auto refresh feature that automatically reposts a job ad every 30 days to keep it visible. So a job that was filled months ago can pop back up again and again, creating a ghost job without anyone even lifting a finger. But what really brought this to a head was the times behind it all. It's not just a mistake. A survey of hiring managers revealed some firms post fake jobs simply to create a talent pool for the future. The deception goes even further. Others were found to be inflating their numbers, trying to create the illusion that their company is growing, even when it's not. Essentially, this has become a form of corporate perception management. The real audience for these fake ads isn't always job seekers. It can be investors who see a lot of hiring as a sign of financial health, or even competitors who might be intimidated by a rival that appears to be expanding rapidly, this deception has massive real-world consequences. Data from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics shows a major gap with 7.2 million job vacancies posted, but only 5.1 million people actually hired. Experts warn this gives governments a false picture of the job market. The reason this all matters is that agencies like the Bureau of Labor Statistics know their data has this noise and they try to account for it. They use complex methods like a birth-death model to estimate job changes, but even with these tools, they can get it wrong. Just recently, the BLS had to issue a massive downward revision, admitting that job growth had been overstated by over 900,000 jobs. That's a huge miss, and it shows how much these ghost jobs can distort our understanding of the economy. In response, a petition in the US demanding a Truth in Job Advertising Act has gathered over 50,000 signatures, while in Ontario, Canada, new laws are forcing companies to disclose if a job is actively being filled, and the Canadian law has real teeth. As of 2026, companies in Ontario will have to notify interviewed candidates of the hiring decision within 45 days, disclose salary ranges in the posting, and confirm the job actually exists. Failing to do so could result in fines up to $100,000 for repeat offenders. This is a stark contrast to the US, where similar protections are still just a proposal. The core conflict is clear. A widespread corporate practice is creating a phantom job market. This isn't just wasting people's time, it's actively distorting the economic data that leaders rely on to make critical policy decisions for everyone. From deceptive corporate tactics meant to manage perception, we now turn to a massive, high-stakes corporate gamble playing out in the open. After a bitter divorce and years in the wilderness, the FIFA video game is making a comeback. But the real shocker isn't just that it's returning, it's times it's returning. Forget PlayStation or Xbox, the new FIFA is going to be a Netflix exclusive. This move is significant because Netflix isn't just buying a game, it's buying a global community to supercharge its move into gaming. This is all part of its broader strategy to diversify content and give you more reasons to stay subscribed, blending interactive entertainment right alongside the shows and movies you already watch. This is the next chapter in one of gaming's biggest dramas. For 30 years, FIFA and developer EA were an unstoppable force, building a franchise with an estimated 150 million players, but that partnership ended in an acrimonious split, with EA ditching the FIFA name and rebranding its blockbuster game as EA Sports FC. And the surprising part? It worked. EA FC 24 became the best-selling game in the UK in 2023, proving they didn't need the FIFA brand to dominate the pitch. Now, FIFA is striking back, but their new partner isn't a gaming giant, it's Netflix. And the developer is a brand new studio, Delphi Interactive, which has yet to release a single video game. On the surface, this looks like a massive risk. However, Delphi Interactive isn't just some startup in a garage. It represents a new model in the industry, acting as a financier and co-publisher. They bring the money in the deals, then partner with top-tier experienced developers to actually build the game. In fact, they use this same model to secure the rights to the next James Bond game. The plan is a radical departure. The new FIFA will be available for free to all Netflix subscribers, playable on mobile devices and select TVs, launching just ahead of the 2026 World Cup. Now, when they say free, this is where it gets really interesting. Netflix's current policy for its games is no ads, no extra fees, and get this, no in-app purchases. And that no in-app purchases policy is a crucial detail because it's a direct shot at EA's Golden Goose. EA's Ultimate Team mode, which is built on in-game purchases, generated over $1.6 billion in a single year. FIFA and Netflix are betting they can win fans by removing that controversial monetization completely. And as for being mobile first, many hardcore gamers might scoff, but this is a calculated business move. The mobile gaming market is now worth over $92 billion, making up nearly half of the entire global gaming industry. That's almost double the size of the console market EA dominates. FIFA isn't just trying to compete with EA, it's aiming for a much, much bigger audience. FIFA president Gianni Infantino is calling it the beginning of a new era of digital football. The new studio's boss promises to make it the most fun, approachable, and global football game ever created. But the reaction from fans has been mixed. Many are questioning the mobile-first strategy, with one user on social media bluntly stating, FIFA should never have left EA. This situation presents a fascinating duality. On one side, an opportunity to capture a massive new market, while on the other, it exposes the risk of alienating the loyal fan base that made the brand so valuable. It's a classic business dilemma. Chase a new, larger market at the risk of losing your core base. The stage is set for a massive showdown. After losing its crown, FIFA is gambling everything on a new platform and an unproven developer in a high-stakes attempt to challenge the very empire it helped build. Speaking of platform strategies that could reshape an industry, Instagram is making a fundamental change that could end the era of engagement hacking for good. The platform just announced it is now capping all posts at a maximum of 5 hashtags. This isn't just a small update. According to Instagram chief Adam Mosseri, this move is a direct assault on what he calls engagement hacking. For years, creators have stuffed posts with dozens of tags hoping to go viral, but the company is now officially declaring that strategy dead. Now, this is a big deal because for many small creators and businesses, hashtags are a primary free tool for discovery. This change comes at a time when organic reach on Instagram has already plummeted. Some industry studies show that over 90% of your followers may not even see your content without paid promotion. This has led many to wonder if this isn't just about quality, but also about indirectly pushing creators toward Meta's paid advertising to regain that lost reach. But that's not the whole picture. The real turning point is a statement from the head of Instagram himself. In a statement that turns years of social media advice on its head, Mosseri said that hashtags don't increase your reach. That might sound crazy, but there is a technical truth to it. So let's break down what's actually happening inside the algorithm. Research shows that when you use too many tags, say 20 or 30, the system can actually flag your post as spammy, which can hurt your visibility. The algorithm is designed to prioritize genuine engagement, likes, shares, saves, over a long list of tags. So while Mosseri's statement is blunt, the data suggests that overstuffing hashtags was already a losing strategy. His message is blunt. Quality over quantity is key. The platform is telling users that a few specific tags perform better than a long list of generic ones, and that creators should focus on content that actually resonates with their audience, not on gaming the system. If that was just the appetizer, the main course is the bigger picture across Meta's apps. This new 5 hashtag limit on Instagram follows an even more extreme rule on its sister platform Threads, which limits users to just a single tag per post. The key insight here is that Meta is intentionally shaping these platforms for different purposes. By limiting Threads to 1 tag, it's pushing it to be a single topic conversation app to compete with X. Meanwhile, the 5 tag limit on Instagram helps refine it as a visual discovery engine to compete with TikTok. These limits are designed to guide how we use each app. The hope, Mosseri stated, is to refocus tags on building communities and genuine connection. But there's a real concern here. Hashtags are vital for connecting niche communities, think groups like number queer artists, number disabled hikers, or number vintage sci-fi. These groups often rely on a combination of broad and hyper-specific tags to find their small but highly relevant audiences. A hard limit of 5 tags could make it much harder for these smaller, important communities to be discovered. The takeaway is undeniable. The era of using endless hashtags as a shortcut for visibility is over. Instagram is actively rewriting its own rules, forcing a major pivot away from algorithmic tricks and towards authentic content. For millions of users and businesses, the game has officially changed.
That's it for today on Voyage Daily Tech. Follow, share, and stay tuned for daily updates coming your way tomorrow.